Shalawam, shalawam. First and foremost, giving all praises, glory, and honor be to the Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakakadash. Those are the true names of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Yahawah equals He is, He exists. That's the Father's name. Yahawashi equals He saves, He delivers. That's the Son's name, right? And Rakakadash equals a spirit that's holy. That's how you say the Holy Spirit in Paleo Hebrew, ancient Hebrew, or the Lashawan Kadash. Lashawan equals language or tongue. Kodash, once again, equals holy. So that's the holy language, the holy tongue. All right. Second of all, double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone. Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect. All right. That brothers out there that's pushing, preaching, teaching, all right, using their gifts the correct way, proper way. All right. Not being slack on those talents, man, and doing what they're supposed to do, trying to make it back to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, man. All right. Continue to go. Continue to push on, brothers, right, and sisters in the background, maintaining yourself. Okay, you know we at that final stretch, and it's beautiful to see. All right, it's your brother Yerami Kazak back with hopefully another edifying lesson through the spirit, power, and strength of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. As always, and this one is going to be entitled along the lines of a master plan. A foiled master plan or something along the lines of that. You know, I haven't really came up with it yet. But we're going to go into it. What we're about to go into is a video speaking on Esau's global seed vault, right? And a little bit on his bunkers and stuff. Where this man has a plan to, enterprise as a sense, as it says in Job 5 and 12. You know, where Yahawah basically takes down his enterprise. So he has a whole plan set up to eradicate everybody on this planet, you know, bring a population down to 500 million, which that's on the Georgia Guidestones. His wicked 10 Commandments, okay? And he has these seed vaults which can suffer nuclear attack, you know, and all of that. They're supposedly should be able to. Okay, y'all not gonna be able to take what the Most High is about to bring. Trust and believe that. All right, but they got all the seeds on this planet, and they're gonna go forth and plant again after they live in these vaults for some time. Now, hey, I wouldn't even think about this, but just in the spirit, it brings out the show Fallout, or for brothers that played the video game. You know, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas, right? Where Esau is showing you after living for so many years in these vaults, you come out of the vault, you actually grow up in the game. You start as a baby and you grow up and you come out in your like 20s, you know, and you see that the world is still devastated and all of that, right? Due to the radiation, you know. So that's Esau's plan, is to come back out like a phoenix. And when it rise like a phoenix, you know, a phoenix burns and then it comes back to life. And that's Esau's enterprise in a sense, where he wants to destroy the world and then come back, man, you know. But hey, without further ado, let's get it going.
This is a special place. Let's go deeper inside. We have prepared this seed vault for about 4.5 million seed samples. Welcome to the Global Seed Vault. This is a facility where we store copies of seeds from gene banks all over the world. So now we are entering a long tunnel which leads into the Global Seed Vault.
Deep inside the permafrost mountain, close to the North Pole, is a storage facility with the capacity to store over 4 million different crops and a maximum of 2.5 billion seeds. The Global Seed Vault was created as a backup system for the world's gene banks to protect humanity against any catastrophes that could potentially wipe out our agricultural diversity.
We are now quite deep in the mountain. When we pass this door, we are in the permafrost part of the rocks here. Now we are moving from approximately 0 degrees into the permafrost section. We have the permafrost here, -5. In there, it's -18. And here you can feel the atmosphere. It's silent. You can hear the echo. It's a very nice place to grasp the atmosphere of being in an important place. Some journalists call this the Noah's Ark of plant diversity, and personally I think that's quite a good name. We call it the world's most important room. So let's go in. If the humanity can survive, we will need new plant varieties. And the material you need for developing new varieties are genetic diversity. We have seeds from all countries in the world. Kenya, Mexico, India, Peru, Germany, Colombia, Costa Rica, Zambia, Brazil, Australia. Here we have some nice wooden boxes from Tajikistan. Workers in gene banks, farmers have struggled to produce all these seeds and sent them here because they feel safe when they send the seeds here. Svalbard is a safe place. It's the permafrost here, so it's frozen even if the artificial cooling fails. And Svalbard is quite far away from conflicts. Here we have boxes from Russia and
Stop it right there. All right. And let's get that map.
Frozen even if the artificial cooling fails. And Svalbard is quite far away from
conflicts, right? So it's as you can see out there in the middle, right? Where Esau has these certain areas which during a nuclear war they deem safe havens, they deem spots they want to attack, such as he's in Norway. You got New Zealand, that's a major bunker spot that they have. I believe Switzerland and Sweden is one of those because they got massive bunkers in those lands, right? Let's actually get that. Okay, which country has the most bunkers in the world? And I believe it is Sweden. Oh, Switzerland, yep, one of those. Has the most bunkers per capita in the world with roughly 370,000 shelters, including over 9,000 public facilities and private reinforced bunkers designed to protect over 100% of its population in a crisis. This high density of bunkers is primarily due to Cold War era laws mandating shelters. So these Edomites, man, and before we get that Job 5, they love to dwell in the rocks. Okay, it was Jeremiah 16, Salakia, and I started 14. As it says, Yahawah will restore them. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahawah, that it shall be no more be said, Yahawah liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Okay, that's what's said right now. If we be in a realistic way, he brought us up out of Egypt, and he restored us, and he gave us the land of Canaan, which is really the Garden of Eden. Okay, the land that was promised to us way long before, and it was also promised to Abraham. Now it was took from Canaan because Canaan was what? Cursed. They're cursed to be a servant of servants. Okay, so that's not their land truly, So he brought us up out of Egypt and gave us that land. We took it through war. Okay, there's nothing wrong with the way that we took it. We did not steal it how these 1948ers did it. They coming in taking a land where they actually have a land already, the land of Edom, which is Jordan, and they don't want to dwell in their land. Verse 15, but Yahawah liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north and from all the lands whither he have driven them. What's the land of the north? North America. Okay, the massive salvation point is America. That's where you see the most amount of chariots is America and Brazil. Okay, so that's where the most chariots, most amount of chariot sightings are, and it just so happens that's where the bulk of the tribes are. Okay, with America being the key point, but you also have it's a little known fact, is that more Judites were sent to Brazil than they was actually sent to America. So Brazil is full of Judah, as well as a lot of other Northern Kingdom tribes, which it would be on the chart. It would be predominantly Asher. That's a major population in Brazil, but you also have a major population of Judah and a lot of other tribes in that land and that area as well. So when you go into the slave trades, understand that you had different slave trades. You had individuals being took, Northern Kingdom being took from South America, being shipped to the old world, Europe, Asia, which is all Asia, and Africa and things of that nature. Right? Our people were scattered from wherever they were at, but now we're going to know that Yahawah liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, right? From North America. He's gonna deliver us from there. And you're going to have individuals being delivered from other lands as well. Okay? We can get that in Matthew 24 and 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the power of the heavens shall be shaken. This is talking about wisdom being took away, and the ICBM missiles falling and hitting its place. Chariots devastating these people, right? Laser strikes, all of that, okay? Simultaneously. Earthquakes, all of that type of stuff, The earth is going to shake, okay? The heavens is going to shake. Nuclear warfare, all right? And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man, Yahawashi, in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. So those clouds represent chariots. Yahawashi is coming with great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other, from the four winds or the four corners of the earth. So you're going to have the elect being gathered from all over the planet. Now, as we stating, going back to that Jeremiah 16 and 15, predominantly, all right, most of the elect is going to be in America. Okay? That's understood because this is where a lot of the tribes are. This is the main spot. X marks the spot. All right? And from all the lands whither he have driven them, as it states right there. So Yahawah liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north and from all the lands whither he have driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith Yahawah, that shall fish them. That's what we're doing right now, fishing for our brothers and sisters, letting them know the truth. And if they get the bait and they come on in, then they come on in. If they don't, they want to keep going, and they keep going. If they want to be a hard fish and they want to run a little bit and then get reeled in, and so be it, But regardless, if they are of the elect, they're going to be brought in, And they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks, right? Now, these individuals love to dwell in rocks and bunkers. As we see right here, they got over 370,000 shelters, And this is the ones that are listed, okay? So you have a massive amount of shelters being built. And this is Albania. Wait a minute. It says Albania is the country with the largest number of bunkers ever built. In the 750,000 bunkers that were built, the entire population of Albania could be fitted in them. So I guess Albania is on that list too. I don't know how that's hey, Google be on some shit, all right? Maybe Switzerland is ones that's built underground. Okay? Because these right here, this ain't gonna survive no nuclear attack. Yeah, this ain't gonna work it out. Right? But the fact remains is these Edomites are preparing for WW3 and for nuclear war. All right. See, these right here, as it states, these right here are equipped with air filtration systems, toilets, bunk beds, ventilation, food and water supplies, and emergency generators. Now, if you do the math, you do the understanding, what does nuclear war does? What does it do? It turns the land around it, it brings forth radiation, you know? So you got ventilation and air, you're going to bring forth that, and you're going to die in your bunker. Okay? All right? And they got bunker buster missiles, you know? So that's something to worry about as well. So these individuals are they're not gonna live, man. Okay, now if you do survive, then as we just read, all right, I will send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. That's what it's talking about. They're not living in holes and rocks. They're living in bunkers. These are holes and rocks that they drilled out, and they placed cement and all of that there, type of concrete, all of this, and said that this is gonna survive a nuclear attack, which it's not. And if it does, if you just so happen, then Yahawah preserved you for that moment. Okay? So you can go into what? You can go into chains. Right? This is Psalms 149. We're starting at verse 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of power be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with feathers of iron. This is how we know these high-ups that have these bunkers and things of that nature, some of them are going to survive for this purpose, to be slaves, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye Yahawah. All right? So you're going to survive for the purpose of being slaves, man. You know? Right here, this is Isaiah 14:21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith Yahawah of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith Yahawah. I will also make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith Yahawah of hosts. All right, so these individuals, they are prepared for slaughter. Okay, their entire families. If they do so happen to survive, they're going into chains. You know, so this is their destination. All right, let's double down on it. Let's go to Obadiah 1:18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. So Jacob and Joseph, all right, that's really just talking about northern kingdom, southern kingdom. Okay, all right, all of the Israelites. And the house of Esau, the Edomites, for a stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahawah hath spoken it. That means none. Right? They're all getting took out the way. So this master plan, which will be foiled, right? That this individual, these individuals are so much banking on to survive. They want to go in these bunkers and survive. It's not gonna work out, man. Why there? Let's go to that Job 5 now, and then we got some other places to go. This is Job 5:1. Call now, if there be any that will answer thee, and to which of the saints will thou turn? For wrath killeth the foolish man, and envy slayeth the silly one. I have seen the foolish taken root, but suddenly I cursed his habitation. Right? Suddenly. They brought down suddenly. These individuals are going to fall, man. Extremely fast. Like lightning, as the scripture states. You know? So, they're being preserved for that sudden judgment. Where they're thinking everything is good, everything is great. They taking us over, they killing us, they destroying us. You know, but then it's not going to work out like that. His children are far from safety. Gone again. His children. And they are crushed in the gate, neither is there any to deliver them. Whose harvest The hungry eateth up and taketh it, even out of the thorns, and the robber swalloweth up their substance. Although affliction cometh not forth of the dust, neither doeth trouble spring out of the ground. Yet man is born unto trouble, as the sparks fly upward. I would seek unto Yahawah, and unto Yahawah would I commit my cause. This is what you should be doing in these times, man. That's it. That's the only way you're going to make it up out of here. Seeking Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Okay? We're born unto trouble, man. All right? Regardless, you understanding these wicked, they born doing trouble, and we're born being troubled by them. Okay? As long as they live side by side with us, it's going to be a perpetual hatred that they bring along with them. That's Amos 1 and 11. So they can't change their ways. They were created to be wicked. Right? So commit thy cause to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Verse 9. Which doeth great things and unsearchable, marvelous things without number, who giveth rain upon the earth, and sendeth waters upon the fields, to set up on high those that be low, that those which mourn may be exalted to safety. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Right? Let's get that word. Because this is what we understand. They won't be able to perform it, man.
Strong's H, 8454. Tushia. Tushia.
Right? And basically, wisdom, sound knowledge, success, sound of efficient wisdom, abiding success, their wisdom of the world. This is their enterprise. These seed banks. You know? Esau has, you've driven extinct many creatures, man. Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is going to bring those creatures back in the kingdom. Okay? All these type of things that you done destroyed. Lions you done hunted to extinction. Gorillas and tigers that you done hunted to extinction. You know? Whales and sharks that you done hunted to extinction. You've disrupted the natural way of life on this planet, man. And you got to go. But you think this is wise. Your enterprise is death. It's rooted in death. All right? So wisdom, they're wise. Our people can be wise to do evil because they're aligning with Esau. You know what I'm saying? Look at it down here in the Strong's. Enterprise. A thing as it is, that which is substance, working. So this is something that they're running, man. Something that they're doing. Okay? All right? Substantiate. Help. An undertaking. Understanding. Right? He takes the crafty in their counsel. You know, they have sat back and they got all these think tanks. That's what it is. These think tanks, as they say. Okay? And they come up with all these ways to destroy us. That's them being confederate with one another. Different nations, man. These heathens. Even everything that's going on with Iran, this is an orchestrated plan from the elites to disrupt the energy, grids on this planet, to bring in an MOTB and a digital system, the NWO, man. It's what they want to bring in ultimately, right? Think tanks are research institutes or idea factories that analyze public policy, economics, and social issues to influence government decisions, legislation, and public opinion. They bridge academia, government, and advocacy groups functioning as policy experts to solve or promote specific perspectives on complex societal problems. This is what the WEF is. It's a think tank, man. These are unelected officials. Okay, Klaus Schwab and, Harari, these individuals sitting up there making all the decisions for everybody and nobody put them in that position. Okay? It makes no sense. So let's go back to the video.
Here we have boxes from Russia, and here we have boxes from Ukraine. And even if they are enemies abroad, outside, in this seed vault, they cooperate. And here is some wooden boxes made in North Korea. So even North Korea have sent seeds here, and in the seed vault here, international conflicts are cooled down. You see this empty space in this shelf. We had seed boxes from Ikarda's gene bank in Aleppo. They sent seeds here from 2008, and when the gene bank in Aleppo was ruined, we were able to send the seeds back so they can start creating a new gene bank. This system saved the seeds. If they had no backup here, the seeds would have gone extinct. This is the world's largest collection of genetic diversity of crops. What you see in here is 13,000 years of agricultural history. The genes you find in here is the world's largest collection of genetic diversity of crops. What you see in here is 13,000 years.
See, he don't even know what he's saying right there. Okay? Because we understand the world, the earth, okay, is about 12,000 to 13,000 years old, man. You know? Just based off of Yahawashi coming, all right, in that 10th part, okay? And we're about 2,000 years after that, each part being about 1,000 years, all right? It took what? It took Yahawah, really Yahawashi, okay? 6 days, that's 6,000 years. A day to Yahawah is 1,000 years, all right? To make the earth, to make everything down here, you know? So you would have 13,000 years of agriculture, 13,000 years of trees, of plants, right? Of all that type of stuff. So Esau, man, that's funny, man. He fell on his tongue right there. But if you got a spiritual eye, then you could catch that, right? That's your power. You know what I'm saying? Let him keep going.
Of agricultural history. The genes you find in here existed in the natural flora in the Middle East 10, 15,000 years ago. And then farmers started to use these plants and they improved the plants into the crops that we have today. There is in the seed vault about 70,000 different varieties of barley and 150,000 samples of rice and 140,000 samples of wheat. Researchers, they investigate what are the properties we find in these old varieties, and they use the genes for making new varieties, for new purposes, for new growing conditions. Without this material, plant breeders, agriculture will never manage to feed the growing population. This is the raw material that we need for the future, that breeders need to make new varieties, to increase the world's food production.
And all this, is a lie, pretty much, man. Okay? Because we understand, right? We ain't out here worrying about no damn food. Okay? Let's get this. And, man, is it sparrow? All right. What is it, man? Sparrows? Yeah, all right. No. It might be that. Matthew 10. Yeah, that is the point. That ain't really, yeah. Basically, the one I'm looking for is Yahawah can feed the sparrow. All right, so you really don't worry about what you got to eat. And this is Matthew 10 and 27. I'll just read this one anyway, going to 31. It's a good one. What I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light, and what you hear in the ear, that preach ye upon the housetops, and fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. We're not out here worrying about Esau taking away our food or, starving us out, or famine or pestilence and all that. We got faith. We trust in Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, man. He's gonna feed us. He's gonna protect us. He's gonna clothe us. He's gonna get us through. Trust and believe in that, man. We walk in testimonies of that. Brothers could tell you 1,000 stories, man. Because I know I could tell you about 50, 100 stories. All right, just off of living, in general. You know what I'm saying? So, shoot, we have evidence, Right? Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi works in our lives. You know what I'm saying? Verse 29. Are not 2 sparrows sold for a farthing, and one of them shall not fall on the ground without your Father. He controls life and death, everything that's going on, right? But the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Fear ye not, therefore ye are of more value than many sparrows. And that hits the point, right? Where we're more value than the birds and the insects and all of these type of things that he still feeds. If he allows these heathen to eat, he's going to feed his people, man. He's going to take care of us. So we haven't been given a spirit of fear, okay? We're in the right mindset. We're trusting and believing in Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Our faith is growing constantly. So it's all good, man. We just got to hold on, right? So all these, in a nuclear war, what if you're not going to, anything that grows predominantly in America, it's not going to be able to grow again? Yes, it is, man. Right? We're going to have the ability to create back in that time frame of being those beings, being able to create once again, man. Okay, nothing is impossible for Yahawah. So stop thinking with a carnal means of just because this is destroyed, it'll never come back, man. Let's go to Revelation 21. This is Revelation 21:1. And I saw a new heaven, which refers to a new kingdom, and a new earth. Right? Basically, not a new planet, no, but a new society, a new way of living, a righteous way of living. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there were no more sea. Okay? So this wicked kingdom, this wicked sense of living where you're living in fear of nuclear warfare, you're living in fear of catastrophes, and they literally live on their planet. They live on this planet and they fear the planet. They're not in unison with it. They don't understand what's going on. They don't work together. They drill in the earth. Oil. When did oil come into play? Because everything's over oil now, right? When was oil first used? And I know it's about the 1700s or the 1800s. All right. Oh, I put a P, Salaki. All right. When was oil first used? All right. Nah, not that type of oil. But when was oil first drilled for? Let's do that. All right, there. 1859. Modern commercial oil drilling began on August 27, 1859, when Edwin Drake successfully drilled a 69.5 foot oil well near Titusville, Pennsylvania. All right. And Yahawah put the spirit in this individual to find the oil, okay, to bring this to be. This event initiated the modern petroleum industry. Although early military drilling techniques for brine and oil were used in China as far back as 200, 600 BCE, and in Russia during the 9th century, but what I'm stating is the corporation, the industry of oil really came around 1859. Okay, and that lines up with these Edomites really coming into their power in a sense of banking system, because the first bank came around, I believe it was 1852. All right. Bro. AI tripping today. All right. First bank in, well, no. What is the first bank in the world? Not 1472. I'm going to just type in because I had looked this up earlier. All right. The Chartered Bank of India, Australia, and China was incorporated in London in 1853 by Scotsman James Wilson under a royal charter from Queen Victoria. This institution is a direct predecessor to the modern international banking group. But it says it in a more 1853 central bank, I believe. to manage note exchanges in the U.S. All right, and this right here gonna lead me into a whole nother video that I've been meaning to do, because before banks was really allowing you to borrow, okay, you was doing barter system. You was doing a trade system. Now 1853 brought in, 1853 brought in notes, pretty much. In 1853, various obsolete currency notes were issued by private state banks in the U.S. Additionally, the Coinage Act of 1853 was passed, which significantly altered U.S. silver coinage by reducing its weight and establishing a fiduciary currency system to manage precious metal values. Because bartering was the way before 1853, where you can make me a fur coat. All right, I give you like 3 bales of hay or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It was real substance. Okay. Hey, build me a house. I give you like 5 cows or something. I don't know. However it was, but it was messy. So then they tried to come through with the currency, and I got a video on it, but that's a whole nother video I gotta do. All right. But just along the facts of Esau was bringing in and implementing these type of different ways, okay, that really destroyed the sense of life, the human experience, because just based off of them bringing these notes, these currencies, what happened from that? Because this is a foundation of their enterprise, okay, of their master plan. It brought in central banks. It brought in them the ability to control a stock market, to control goods, to control a dollar, right? And to control companies, and the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, they have their hands in this. The J.P. Morgan, the Morgans, they're a major part of these situations, man. All right, so let's go back. So the oil being drilled first in 1859. All right. So that right there is letting you know, before oil, you was using different other things. You was using steam, you was using wood, using charcoal, using all this other type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to rant, man. Let's keep it going. So Esau was setting up this wicked heaven, this wicked earth, this wicked society. All right, that right there is gonna be phased out. Let's get classic one, second Esdras 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Right? So in our kingdom, bro, we're not worrying about the last kingdom. It's our time to rule. We're not worrying about the last rulership. We're not trying to do nothing that they did. We're going to do things in a righteous sense. Let's go to that Proverbs, because that's what it is. These people are caught up on this is as good as it gets. This is as bad as it gets, man. We're moving towards that time of Noah. Okay? That those last days, which is worse than the time of Noah. All right, Jacob's trouble, that great tribulation. We're in that time period. So this is as bad as existence will ever be. What we're moving into. And then we're gonna move into a period of rebirth, a period of reformation, right? The right way, the correct way. And this is Proverbs 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. So a period of rejoicing, a period of rest for us, for the Israelites, for the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And for the rest of the nations, they're going to be rejoicing in a sense because this devil is not in power. And yeah, they're going to be under the authority of us, most definitely. But it's going to be a better kingdom. They're going to actually be, in a sense of safe, man. They're not going to be in a mindset of we got to worry about nuclear war or wars. Ain't gonna be no wars. Right? Could it possibly be a rebellion, minor or some shit? Yeah, if somebody act up, guess what? And ain't no rain. You know? That's why it was written. Okay? And we gonna come in and whoop their ass, man. Alright? This is Zechariah 14. And I'll start at 16. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which come against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, Yahawah of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. All right, they're going to worship Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. And they're going to have to keep the laws, commandments, and statutes, man. Under the order of Melchizedek, all right, bringing the 10th part. And it shall be that whosoever will not come up of all the families of the earth. So, who's still feeling froggy? Unto Jerusalem to worship the King, all right, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, even upon them shall be no rain. And if the family of Egypt go not up and come not, that have no rain, there shall be the plague wherewith the Yahawah will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. This shall be the punishment of Egypt and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. In that day shall there be upon the bells of the horses holiness unto Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, and the pots in Yahweh's house shall be like the bowls before the altar. Right? So just understanding that you got these individuals that you can have a nation, you know, they want to trip. Okay, that's gonna be your reward. Okay? That's gonna be your reward. And then ultimately you're gonna die, man. And you're gonna 3 to 4 generations, then you're going to come back. And guess what? You're still going to be under us. It's an everlasting rulership. It's forever. So that 1,000-year period is a time of discipline, is a time of setting these nations straight and setting the world back in order the proper way and the correct way. To let everybody know this is real, true rulership. This is the right way that we do things. Okay? These are the true rulers, the true judges, the true kings, the true priests of the earth. Everything that you used to know is done. And if you don't want to accept that, then take your ass on, man. Okay? And die. In famine and pestilence and everything. Because you can't thrive without water. All right? So we're going to control the seeds. We're going to control creation. We're going to control all of that. You're not going to have anything. You're going to be under us as slaves, man. You know? And then you'll be able to go back into your lands once you get right, once you understand. And you'll still be under us. You'll still have to submit. Your kings will have to submit. All right? All these kings of the heathens will have to submit to any Israelite. 2/3 Israelite, 1/3 Israelite, whatever. All right? That Israelite show up, you better get out that carpet. Throw them roses. You know? Have some concubines. I've been holding this one for you. All right? She's clean. This my daughter. Please take her. Please take her. You know? Have some gifts. All right? These individuals is done, man. You know? Matter of fact, let's go to I'm gonna end it over here, man. All right, he about to fill his belly. This is Job 20 and 23. When he is about to fill his belly, it's talking about Esau, Edom. Yahawah shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So going back to this individual, you thinking that you're all good with these bunkers and all this type of stuff that you have set up, but it's not gonna play out and it's not gonna work out for you, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. I think I had, this Samson option, right? Just touch on this real quick because this is the mindset of an Amalekite and these Edomites in general, right? When they're backed into a corner, they want to blow shit up. The Samson option is a term describing Israel's alleged deterrent. And it's not alleged, this is real, okay? There's videos on this. strategy of using massive nuclear retaliation as a last resort. You know, they're going to blow everything up if they can't win, if its military is defeated and its survival is threatened, often summarized as bringing down the pillars of the temple on itself and its enemies. Coined by Seymour Hersh in 1991, it represents a policy of extreme deterrence and deliberate ambiguity regarding Israel's nuclear arsenal aimed at preventing essential destruction. So you're going to destroy everybody because you couldn't win a war. You know, the least of the flock shall draw them out. So with that being said, these individuals are extremely wicked, man. You know, all right. They right here, nuclear ambiguity. Israel remains a policy of deliberate ambiguity, and I'm probably saying that wrong, Salaki. Neither confirming nor denying the possession of nuclear weapons, though, and they have them, though it is widely believed to have them. That's the thing. You trying to check Iran over having nuclear weapons, but you over here not letting nobody know what you have. Man, you gotta hate these niggas, man. All right. Though it is widely believed to have them, along with, for example, Dolphin-class submarines, launch nuclear-capable cruise missiles, according to Wikipedia. So everybody else got to get in line but you. Right? So yeah, that's the Samson option. And then, as he was talking about in the video, the gene banks, there's over 1,700 gene banks worldwide that store collections of seeds, but the term Global Seed Vault usually refers to the Svalbard Global Seed Vault in Norway, which we just looked at, which serves as the ultimate backup for these institutions. You know, so these gene banks send their seeds to that Global Seed Vault, and it maintains those seeds, right? As we just saw. So Esau, and it's not, you know, it's not dumb to practice to keep seeds and all that. You know, you're a government, okay, and you preserve yourself and all of that, all right. But it's foolish when you know that your country is gonna be destroyed, all right, America, when everything is about to be destroyed. So you're trying to preserve your way of life, all right. You're making food, but you're not going to be able to eat it, right? You're about to fill your belly, but it's not going to happen, man. And we can't wait, man. Hey, so with that being said, giving all praises, honor, and glory be to the Heavenly Father and the Son, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash, and double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone as always, and Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect. Pray this was edifying, man. I'll put the video link in the bio. Right. As always, Kwam Yasharahla and Abba Baal to his wicked kingdom. May Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi destroy this bitch yesterday. If you can't see the light, you're living in darkness, man. Shalawam, Shalawam.